And we're back. You're watching Sports Federation TV. I'm Lenyukta Chetty. Joining me now from the world of transplant sport is Stan, Henkerman and Herman Steyn. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to be here.
Yes, and it's great to have your exciting federation back on the show. Now, Transplant Games have had some exciting times recently, but before we get into that, can you please tell us about what exactly is your federation catering for?
So it's a closed organization because in order to be a full member, you have had to have a transplant, a solid organ transplant. And so we can't just go out in the street and say, please join us. And so you can imagine it's a limited number of people. And we do have associate members, which would be our family and friends and so forth. But only full members can participate in the activities.
So I'm going to make a bad joke now. So you can't go out there in public and ask people to join. So are you getting them at the hospitals?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, that's where
you are.
it's we have to go to hospitals to support groups and just make people aware that there is this organization where we celebrate life after transplantation.
Wow, amazing. You know, I'm sure most of the general public don't even know that there's these amazing opportunities for people with transplants. So how is it administered in the Western Cape and nationally?
Well, it starts from, we're an affiliate member of SASCOC, and under SASCOC we have our national federation, of which Stan is the national chairman and president. That is called now the South African Transplant Sport Association. And now that we have a few regions under that. We have the Gauteng region, which also includes I'll tell you why. It also includes Mpumalanga, the Northern Province, and Northwest. And then we have KwaZulu-Natal, then we have the Eastern Cape, and then we have the Western Cape, and under that also the Northern Cape falls. You see, when you are waiting for a transplant, the people tend to move closer to the transplant centers. Now the transplant centers are mostly Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban, and for kidneys maybe Bloemfontein and also Port Elizabeth. But so you would know that most of the people move closer to the transplant centers, and that's why the concentration is in the main centers. Now in the Western Cape, most of the members, we are only members of 3 districts, but we fall under Cape Town Sports Council. That's where most of our members, I would say 96% of our members live in Cape Town. So that is under the Cape Town Metro District. Then we have a few in the Winelands, a few in Eden District, and a few in Overberg. No members in Groot Karoo, and also 1 or 2 members in the West Coast.
Okay.
And yes, we have the Western Cape Transplant Sports Association, which administers all the districts in the Western Cape.
Okay. Stan, which sports codes are catered for in your activities?
It's a multi-sport organization. So it's about 13 different sporting codes that we cater for. Obviously, from the big ones like track and field, swimming, and those are particularly the 2 areas where we do exceptionally well. And then you have squash, table tennis, golf, badminton, and then 1 or 2. And one sport in particular that South Africans are not aware of, and it's called petanque.
Well, I'd like to know what petanque is.
The French call it boulet, and it's these round aluminium balls that you toss, and it works on a similar principle as lawn bowls. It's just that the ball is round, and the target, or the cocheter as we call it, is small, and the ball doesn't have a bias, so you have to be fairly accurate. And we have national team members doing that, and we get medals at the World Games for that.
Wow. So do you work closely with other sports federations? Do they also feed into transplant sports?
Yes, they do, because our members, because we're a multi-code federation, our members, we don't have clubs. We're a Category 5 federation under SASCOC, and all our members belong to the different sport clubs. Like if you do athletics, you're a member of one of the
Right, like Western Province Athletics.
Western Province Athletics, or one of the clubs like Belleville or Tygerberg or whatever. And if you're a golf player, then you are a member of a golf club. And so with all the other sport codes as well.
Okay.
And we've got a beautiful vision. I'm going to read it to you. Our vision as a purpose-driven sports organization is to be a leader in optimizing the quality of life of transplant recipients, and through sports and other physical activities, promote organ donation and transplantation. I think that sums it up, what we're all about.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead now and talk about the World Transplant Games, but let's have a look at the footage first to introduce those games.
You can look at me and think that I am a normal athlete, just another person. But behind every one of us lies a story. A great story between a person who could see the end and another who freely offered them a new beginning. When you go through a process like this, inevitably, it makes you question lots of things, and it makes you discover the real value that life has. Because we were about to lose it, it made us celebrate and cherish it even more each day. Those tiny moments flourish into something much bigger, and everything gains new meaning. All of us who went through this, we can think that we've been given a second chance, that nothing will be the same, that we will never be the same, and that's true, we won't be the same. But now we can start to dream new dreams that we had never dreamed before, a new life starting now. What if one of those dreams was to play in the World Games? The 21st World Games for transplant athletes will take place next June. After what we've lived through, we will always stay strong. Come to Malaga. Start dreaming.
Right. So that was obviously the promo leading up to the World Transplant Games in Malaga, Spain, and it actually happened in June this year.
Yes, from the 25th of June till the 2nd of July, and just watching that just brought back so many memories.
I take it you both were there then?
We were both there. We were both participated too.
Really?
Yeah.
What sports do you participate in?
So I play petanque. That's why I plugged it. And then I'm also track and field athlete, and I got a silver medal in the 100 meters.
Wow!
Yes.
So you're the Usain of...
Uncle Usain.
Uncle Usain of athletics.
Because I'm in the 50 to 59 age category.
And you, Herman?
I also do athletics. I do shot put and discus. I was also the team manager. I don't want to make excuses, but I was also the team manager, and I had a lot of work to do there. So my performance wasn't the same as 2 years ago when we went to Argentina. We had the World Transplant Games in Argentina in 2015. But yes, I also do athletics. And what did I want to say? Stan is, we compete in age groups, 10-year age groups, not like masters is in 5 years, but the transplant is in 10-year age groups. And he came second, silver medal in the 100 meters.
Wow.
And That's what we participate in. I only do athletics.
You've brought some photos of your fellow South African squad. So let's take a look at your team. You want to tell us about those individuals?
So as you can see, I mean, it's a representative team, you know, and all 8 of the 9 provinces were represented. It's only the Northern Cape that were not represented. So it's in that way an inclusive team, and it's just wonderful to be in another country as a group of South Africans.
Yes.
That's our identity, you know,
Yeah.
and I think it's the one thing about this particular federation is the fact that we've all had, you know, difficult stories and difficult experiences, and it's such a leveler, you know, and so I'm not saying we don't have, you know, problems and issues, but we don't have the kind of issues that other federations grapple with, because
You don't
we don't
sweat the
sweat the
small
small stuff. Exactly.
That should be a
Exactly.
slogan as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. No, you absolutely. And so, you know, racial tensions and so forth, we don't. If there's something, we deal with it and we move on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I guess it would take a phenomenal life event to make you come to
Yes.
those kind of realizations or that kind of emotional maturity. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I just
right.
want to mention that we both had heart transplants.
Wow.
10 is celebrating his 10th anniversary
10 years.
of his transplant. I celebrate my on the 5th of December. It'll be 5 years for me.
Were you involved with sports on a competitive level prior to the transplants?
When I was much younger, yes, and as a youngster, I played soccer, rugby, hockey. I was involved in track and field, and so you know, but that was when I was much younger, and so you know, there were many years in between. But muscle memory, I believe in it because I experienced it.
And I suppose that life event as well just reignited that passion.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. Well, we'd like to take a deeper look into the actual games, and you've also brought some footage for that. So let's take a look now. So that was some great footage of all the different activities. How did the South African squad do?
It is, you know, it still feels like a dream. We, out of 52 countries who participated, we came third, behind the United Kingdom, who had over 200 athletes, and the United States, who had over 100 athletes. We only had 52 athletes.
Amazing.
And the 52 athletes brought back 76 medals.
Wow. Well, your medal table is here. Let's take a deeper look at that. Okay. So wow, 35 gold medals.
I must say, on the last day, we were on 23 at the end of the second last day, gold. So we picked up 12 gold medals on the last day. track and field.
That is just phenomenal. Especially, I mean, it's well known about the resources available to, say, like the more developed countries, like the US and the UK. And for our athletes, such a small team,
Yes.
to put such a big dent in their aspirations.
And also to beat the European teams. You know, we beat Spain in their own backyard. Germany, you know, they all brought strong teams. You know.
Sure. So 35 gold medals, 23 silver medals, 18 bronze, with a total of 76 medals. Sure. You must be so proud as a leader in the federation and also as an athlete.
Yeah. But I think the credit must go to our athletes. You know,
And administrators.
and we'll take a little credit, but they did the hard work, and you know, and particularly a federation like ours, where we cannot. I mean, the best we could do was to do a training camp about 2 months before we left, and that made the world of difference, because we got professional coaches to help them with technical things, and we reaped the benefits of it. You know.
Okay.
We even had Wade van Niekerk's stepfather there. He was one of the coaches.
Wow. So, about the athletes specifically and the South African squad, are these working people? Are they doing their sports professionally?
No, they're working people. They're not professional. Well, most of them after their transplant goes back to work, and yeah, most of them have full-time jobs and only part-time sport. So we don't have any professional sports.
And we have some young people who are some of them still at school.
Yeah.
Now, the relationship between being fit, well, competitively fit, like you guys, and the recovery post-transplant, what is the correlation?
You know, I mean, what we do advances, you know, your ability to just, you know, get better quicker and thrive. And I think that you know, all those athletes will tell you the same story, you know, that it has really changed the quality of their life. The sense of well-being is much stronger and much better, you know, with a transplant athlete than a normal transplantee. I must just quickly say that there was another thing that we didn't even tell you, that South Africa got the awards for the top female athlete of the Games, senior and junior. So
Who were they?
So the junior athlete female athlete of the Games was Kristen Henry. She's 15 years old, 5 gold medals.
Yes.
In swimming and track and field.
Wow.
And then Lisa Duplessis was the senior female athlete of the Games, 5 gold medals in swimming, all 5 world records.
Wow.
And,
Phenomenal.
and she's a single mom. She has to work and still manage to do that.
Oh, so inspiring. So inspiring. And I can see how passionate both of you are as athletes and administrators, well, wearing both hats. So what's next on your agenda? I know you've reached your pinnacle with the World Games, but what do you have to look forward to now?
We plan to have the next National Transplant Games in 2018. It hasn't been decided yet. The regions had to put in bids for the hosting region.
Right.
That we will only know after the 7th of October, which will be our national AGM, which is going to be in Cape Town. And that will take place next year, anytime between July. We hope to have it anytime between July and October next year. Now, after the games then, the national team will be selected. And then we plan to have, depending on funding, we plan to have 2 training camps before the 2019 World Transplant Games, which is going to be in Newcastle in the United Kingdom, in England. So yes, like Stan said earlier, we had 1 training camp which did us, our athletes, a world of good before we left for Malaga. And hopefully we're going to have 2. We normally, we had the last one at the official SASCOC training camp in Bloemfontein. They are busy building a new complex, a new national training camp, which will have all the sport codes there. And we plan to have the training camps, the next training camps there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's next, you know, people have to defend their titles.
Yes.
You know, and some of us go into new age groups, so you're the new kid on that block, and so but there's always something to look forward to, and no two games are the same, and you know, if you were a hero in one games, suddenly the next games there are other people who are there, but that's the great thing, and of course the big thing is to reunite with the 2,500 other people who had similar stories all over the world.
Yeah.
And they're expecting nearly 3,000, I think, over
Yeah.
3,000.
And it's getting bigger and
at it,
bigger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
so-
it's just amazing. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to live fully.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, like there's what do you say? We don't sweat the small
No,
stuff.
we don't.
Well, how can people get in touch with your federation?
They can. I'm the executive secretary of the National Federation, but like I said, I'm also Western Cape chairman of Western Cape. They can email me at admin@transplantsports.org.za, and they can also go to our website www.transplantsports.org.za. I'm not going to give a telephone number because they're not going to, but it's easy to remember Transplant Sports. If they Google Transplant Sports, so we
And a
are
Facebook page?
we have a Facebook page.
Okay,
as well.
most people,
Yes.
most people prefer that.
When you
medium.
Google Transplant Sports, we are the first name that comes before the UK or any other team. You know.
Really?
So, yes.
Wow.
And there is a link to the Facebook there as well.
Okay. Well, thank you, Stan and Herman.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you
For
very much.
joining
having
us.
It's
It
been
was
a
really
huge
lovely.
pleasure.
Yes, it was lovely talking about all your adventures, and we hope you return with more great news.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much. Thank you.
Thank
Okay. And that's it from Transplant Sport for now, for today. And it's time for the Bashes competition. Remember, Bashes, everyone's favorite cool drink, and everybody's got a Bashes story. To win your case of assorted Bashes drinks with all your favorite flavors, all you need to do is SMS Bashes to 33090. That's Bashes to 33090. Now, congratulations to last week's winner, Gerald Herringer. Gerald, you can expect that case of Bashes in the mail very soon. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll be joined by baseball.